Hi guys, it's reaction time. Before we get on to the reaction, just a quick plug to an amazing project stroke band. For all you Christian metal fans out there, I've got the t-shirt, Martin Simpson's Destroyer of Death. Check them out. If you love Stryper, because you know this is full-blooded metal as well, just like Stryper, but with some cool differences as well. Along with Martin Simpson, who plays bass and is the songwriter, you've got CJ Grimark, amazing guitarist, plays for Narnia, obviously. He's in this band. You've also got Rob Rock guesting on one of these songs, and you've got the amazing Jorn Londe as well. So check them out. They're all over Spotify. There's a CD available as well. There's merch. This is an amazing t-shirt. Martin Simpson's Destroyer of Death. Check them out. So on to the reaction. Man, this has been an amazing week for me musically. I don't think I can recall a better week. I really don't. So personally, new Queensryche single came out yesterday, just blew me away. One of my favorite bands, you know, just an amazing band, Queensryche. I've listened to the Journey album this week, an amazing album. Listened to the Clean Break album this week. That is just amazing. Got Robert Sweet obviously and Perry Richardson of Stryper in. You got to check that one out, guys. I'll be doing a review later for that. So yeah, it's been a pretty hot week for music for me. It really has, and listening to some amazing music. So, and what's really cool is, I was thinking about this earlier, those releases I'm talking about that ain't actually have been released yet, Clean Break and Journey. One of the reasons I get to listen to these albums is because the channel has grown. You know, it's grown, and then record companies want me to review their albums, you know, and one of the main reasons for that is the kickstart. I would say, was from Michael Sweet himself. You know, I remember like a couple of years ago reacting to a Stryper song off their new album, Even the Devil Believes, and Michael Sweet shared it, and then my channel just got more popular. You know, it just sped up the speed of subscribers and viewers, and I you know, thank Michael for that. Then I got to interview him, and I wasn't even on, you know, even though Michael boosted the channel and then I interviewed him, I wasn't even on that many subscribers at that point, and that just shows what a great guy Michael Sweet is. He came on the channel, I think I was at, I don't know, maybe 300 or 400 subscribers, and he came on there, and I love speaking to Michael Sweet. And growing up listening to Stryper, it blew my mind. One of my heroes for sure. So here we are. Fast forward today, the new album is going to be coming out. This song is Rise to the Call. So, I mean, I've seen sort of hints of this coming out this week, and I've been like, oh God, it's going to be good. It's going to be good because we all know what's happened to Stryper over those last 4 albums. They're better than ever. They really are. They're more consistent than they ever was. These albums sit firmly alongside the classic albums. If you talk about production, way ahead of those classic albums, in my honest opinion, of course. So, I mean, man, just they get better and better, and it's just amazing. The whole band, you know, they're just improving with age. It's just great stuff. It really is. So here we are. Like I said, a lot of subscribers on this channel are Stryper fans because of Michael Sweet. So waiting in anticipation, maybe, for my reaction. I'm sure it's going to be good because I literally love every song they've brought out over those last 4 albums. I think there's something brilliant about all of them. So this is like one of them guaranteed good songs. Maybe. You never know. So Stryper, Rise to the Call. I can't tell you how much I'm getting excited about this. Here we go.
Courage run
always stop it halfway, guys. You know that, man. Well, to talk about guaranteed, it just was. Straight out the gates, it's heavy. That's what Stryper are, you know. They're heavy. I was thinking about, I forgot to mention something before I go into the song. No, I'll talk about that afterwards. It's not the right time. But all I would say is Blood From Above was the first song. And earlier on I was trying to, it just went blank. It's weird. Even though it was a massive song for me 2 years ago. And that was straight out of the gates when it's speedy, Judas Priest-esque, a lot of people said. But the speed was there and it was just full-blooded from the beginning. So this one, not so much, but goes a bit full-blooded once it gets going, which is really cool. So you've got a different tempo in the first verse, sort of easing you into the heaviness. I love the chorus. It's nice and fast as well, so it changed the tempo again. And then into that second round of verses at full speed, breakneck speed, Blood From Above-ish. You know what I mean? Love it. Absolutely love it. So loads of variety in the tempo so far. So what I want to do is talk about the production. So Michael Sweet's production. I tell you what, the drum sound. I don't think I've heard a better drum sound on a Stryper album. And I know he's a perfectionist. And you can just hear that drum, that snare, and that kick drum just sound huge. I don't think I've ever heard a drum sound so loud and punchy, but being able to balance perfectly with the guitars and bass and not just drown them out. How can you have drums that loud? It must take excruciating pain and patience in the studio to get that right. The drums sound huge. Let's talk about the bass. I'm so glad, like Perry Richardson brought a completely sort of new feel, I think, to Even the Devil Believes. He's got such a rumble to his bass, and it's not just about, you know, producing that sound of it. It's about how you play, I'm sure, and he just sounds huge, like he did on Even the Devil Believes. The guitars sound fantastic. I just can't get enough of Stryper's guitar sound. I just think they've got a real definitive sound to them. They've got a certain sort of feel. I don't know, their guitars sound the best in the business for me. Real heavy, crunchy, amazing. You know, when they do their little melodies together, there's no other band like it. There really ain't. Michael Sweet's voice. I mean, I have said loads about him and the way his voice has matured over the years. If you look back in the 80s, oh, he had a great voice, but the maturity weren't there like it is now. He's got such a mature vocal. I love it in this because he's using the right amount of aggression. I just think, you know, he's obviously, he can't do those really, really high bits anymore, but he doesn't need to, because I think with the more aggressive Stryper sound as well, I think it's a better vocal now. It suits the music better. It's heavier. And it's just an amazing song all round. It's just not disappointing whatsoever. It's just exactly what I want from a Stryper song, especially the first release. It's got to be heavy. You know, it's got to just grab you and just give you a taste of what's to come. And they sound amazing. Already, it's just brilliant. Absolutely love it, man. Just such a cool band. You know, and people who miss out on them, I'll get onto that later. Just stop it, Lee. I'll get onto that later. Here we go for the rest. We're going to have a solo, aren't we? Surely. Here we go. Oh, look at them drums, man. Massive. Oh man, just perfection, absolute perfection. I think that was, I did say about Michael, you know, maybe he doesn't sing as high, but I mean, I counted about 4 huge screams, I think, in that, and it's as high as you like. So, I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about, but you know what I mean. When he's singing, like, the whole song is obviously, you know, I mean, if you heard him in God We Trust, you know what I mean? It's just a ridiculous height that he can sing at. And obviously, he's just perfected his voice now, where this is exactly, I think, he's got his voice where it needs to be. It sounds perfect. It really does. That aggression he's got now, the tone, it's just the perfect vocal performance. Them solos are amazing. I think it was Michael Sweet first. I'm trying to work it out. I'm not very good at this. I think it was Michael Sweet, then Oz, I believe. But I love the difference in the guitar tones, but I'm not a professional on Uzu. But just sounds amazing. I did mention those little harmony guitar parts. There's no other band like it. And you know, at the end there, where it sort of went, that part, I'm going back 2 years ago to Do Unto Others. There's a part of that song where they all, there's like a bit in between the 2 choruses at the end, and I'm just blown away by that bit. It just sounds amazing, and they did a little bit like that at the end of this. Now I'm going to get back to what I was saying. I've spoken about this before, but I've been thinking, I've always said that Stryper are an underrated band. That's not actually true, and I'll tell you why, because I was thinking about this today. To be underrated, you have to be rated, but you have to listen to them to rate them. So where I think Stryper are different, they're not underrated at all. They just don't get listened to by enough people because people don't give them a chance. That's the difference. They're not underrated because I think if people did listen to them, they couldn't ignore how brilliant they are. So I think they're more not listened to enough. I think people ignore them because of the message they give, and they just miss out on one of the most amazing bands I've ever heard in my life. And I think that's the difference. They're not underrated, they're just ignored, and they shouldn't be. You can't ignore them any longer. I always say, if anyone heard that band, that's full-blooded metal. That is where it's done. Just perfectly penned metal tune. Amazing. I can't wait for more. I can't wait for more Stryper. I'm just blown away by that. Let me know what you think of this in the comments below. If you don't like it, don't put a comment. See you later.